if you go to the summary chapters, which is Revelation 12, 13, and 14, if something as big as the impersonation of Satan as Christ, it dedicates a whole chapter, chapter 9, with the fifth trumpet. It has to be in the summary chapters. I mean, we'll have to see it in the summary chapters. And I want you to notice something here with the beast that is of the earth. In Revelation 13, verse 11, it says, "Then I saw another beast coming out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb and spoke like a dragon. And he exercised all the authority of the first beast in his presence, and caused the earth and those who dwell in to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. He performs great signs, so that he even makes fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of man." I think that event of fire coming down in the sight of man, he actually says it makes fire come down from heaven on the earth. So it's come, the sign is actually happening on the earth as such. Fire comes down from heaven on the earth. That obviously, in the biblical narrative, implies acceptance as if it comes from above. We know, we have been told that this lamb-like dragon comes from the earth, or is earthly. And being earthly also is the works of your own hands. That's another aspect of earthly. Is idolatry, is building your own idols with wood and silver, etc., etc., etc. But if you remember when we talked about the winds, a definition of the winds was in Hebrews chapter 1, verse 7, that he makes of his angels, or of his messengers, he makes two things out of them. One was spirits, or as he says in the quoting from Psalm 104, verse 4, um, winds. And the other one, do you remember what was the other thing that he made of them? It's Hebrews chapter 1, verse 7.
A
The
flame
other
of
thing
fire.
that a flame of fire. A flame of fire. Now, this has actually been attributed to different things. And again, it can be applied to many different things. But what about if it is a false Christ coming with all his holy angels? Fire coming down from heaven. Notice that when Satan came down from heaven, he came down as a lightning. Okay, lightning coming from heaven. Fire come down from heaven. Now I want you to notice something. Please do not be caught up with the idea that well, as long as it doesn't touch the air, it doesn't touch the earth, or or you know, come on. Satan knows about special effects. He has shared some of the special effects in all his movies from Hollywood, so he knows how to do special effects. Okay, but that fire coming down from heaven, I believe there's probably a great insight of a possible counterfeit coming, or a possible manifestation of evil angels appearing as holy angels, that will just basically enforce the message that this is the one that you are to worship. Denise, you got a comment?
Yeah, well, a question. Could it you in when you were talking about the witnesses in chapter 11, you said that fire comes from their mouths and consumes them, and you said that was related to Romans chapter 12. So
Yeah.
could it be something that Satan comes as an angel of light, showing so much love and charismatic everything, and could it be that?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's an overlapping. It could actually be also a manifestation of his angels, because the Lord comes with his angels. It could actually be also speaking the words of Jesus, of love one another, respect one another, and things like that. So he comes with a message of love. He comes with, so it's an overlapping. That is the beauty of the scriptures, and the symbology of the scriptures, and the parable nature of the scriptures. That is like an onion. I always say it's like an onion. The deeper you get into the onion, the more you cry. You know, but so it's an overlapping effect in it. Now, so I think that event of fire coming down from heaven is associated with the false second coming, the manifestation of angels, the manifestation of a charismatic love message, um, all and above. Okay, all of it, and or and a combination of all things. But I want you now for a second to come with me to Revelation 17. We got some minutes left. If you still give me your thumbs up, you're still happy to go a few more minutes. Okay, nobody is happy to yeah. Okay, thumbs up. Okay, good, good. Come to Revelation 17. I want you to notice something here. I want you to notice something here. Revelation 17. Um, um, verse 11 and 12 and onwards. We're just going to read it now. The beast that was and is not is himself also the eighth, and is of the seven, and is going to perdition. Now, I believe that beast that in this Revelation 17 tells us that comes from the abyss and the whole world wonders is the same that comes out of the sea and the whole world's wonders. It's actually used in Revelation 13 verse 8, Revelation 17 verse 8. It's actually the same verse also. Okay, so I believe it's the same one. Notice now it's just when we resurrect from the dead, do we have a different body? We do have a different body, right? Now, interesting enough, this beast in Revelation 12 is red, but Revelation 17 at the end of the tunnel is red, but on the resurrection is not red anymore. It has a different body. Well, it makes sense, it's just been resurrected, so it comes with a different body. Looks like a leopard. Has it has the paws of a bear, the mouth of a lion, and it has 10 horns. Now, when you think about it, you're thinking about Daniel 7. Now, in Daniel 7, you have a lion with one head. You have a bear with one head. You have um, a leopard with four heads. One, two, three, 4. So that's 6 heads altogether. And then we have one with one head and 10 horns. 7. 7 horns. Sorry, 7 heads, 10 horns. Now, when you're looking at artists' interpretation of this scene, I don't know how many of you have actually seen a beast with 7 heads, and certain heads will have 3 horns, others will have 2 horns. Have you noticed that? The horns are all spread. The horns are not spread. The 10 horns are on one head. It's the head that is doing the talking. The 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 one that is doing the talking, that's the head where the 10 horns are. And the 7 heads, you notice that in Daniel chapter 7, you count the heads of all the animals, including 4 of the leopard, and you end up with 7. But the horns are only on one. The horns are only on one. Resurrects in a different image, in a different way. It makes sense because when we resurrect, we don't resurrect with this body. So it's not red anymore as such. It just has leopard and so on. But I want you to notice verse 11, then the beast that, sorry, verse 12, the 10 horns which you saw are 10 kings who have received no kingdom as yet, but they will receive authority for 1 hour as kings with the beast. And we explained that in the previous study with the crowns and the resurrection in Revelation 13, and the crowns upon the horns. Okay, these are of one mind, and they will give their power and authority to the beast. These will make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb will overcome them. For he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and those who are with him are called, chosen, and faithful. Then he said to me, the waters which you saw where the harlot sits are people, multitudes, nations, and tongues. The 10 horns which you saw on the beast, they will hate the harlot, make her desolate and naked, eat her flesh, and burned with fire. want you to notice something here. Who kills the harlot?